pants at home. Want me to wait while you go get them?
End of the line.
Alright, I got everything figured out now. We got Yeehaw5 on the blue side for this match. And we got Vortex on the red side. And welcome everyone, this is Prophecy Cup 2. We got 2 5-3 teams tonight. Actually, Vortex is 4-3, I'll fix that in a moment. I think they're 4-4. There we go, that's better. So Vortex sitting at 6th place currently. They have their spot completely locked in. They don't really have anything to play for tonight except for denying their counterparts Yeehaw5 a chance at getting that first round bye. Yeehaw5 playing for that potential 2nd seed, which would give them that first round bye. And they are currently sitting in 3rd place after tonight's performance by Baby Shark. And this game happening now was supposed to start at 9:30, but we're a little bit behind schedule, but that's how it goes with Prophecy Cup. But I thank you for joining us if you are out there. I don't know how many people are in the chat right now. But my name is Escapist. This is the 2nd series I'm casting tonight. Yeah, it should be a good one. Victor, Xinjiao, and Morgana being picked up by Yeehaw5. And we got Rick Salas Jr. hopping on the jacks, it looks like. And Alistar for Vortex, as well as Echo. And yeah, Nightbot is a menace in this stream. It does not like any capital letters or any same symbol just more than 6 times. I think it just times you out. It sucks. But hopefully in the off season we'll fix Nightbot in this channel. I'll probably just ban it completely because Nightbot is just a terror in this channel.
My genius will be understood eventually.
Alrighty, we got a pair of mid lane bans targeted at the mid laner for Yeehaw5. So Blake won't have access to either Akali or LeBlanc. They could always utilize Victor in the mid lane though. It is a champion that can be flexed. Obviously, Victor in the mid lane will be a huge different look for them, because he's utilized more as a control mage when he's played in the mid lane, and he's utilized as more of a split pusher when he's played in the top lane.
Hey, why are y'all casting the same game on 2 different streams?
Oh, we shouldn't be.
Y'all are both casting the same game.
Oh no. He should be casting Bad Boys.
Okay, I'll figure it out. Okay.
Alright, well hopefully they're casting the correct game now. That Overrate found that. Okay, everything's figured out. Oh man, Vaughn was casting the same series as I was for like the entire champion select. But thankfully he figured it out and we were able to reach him. But okay, so that's all solved now. We can focus on this game. But it looks like, so what I missed was Victor is going to be played in the top lane by Kiyoshi, whose new summoner name is Macho804. I have no idea why he's had to play on that account now, but rest assured that is Kiyoshi. And yeah, we're gonna see Kiyoshi kicking that Victor matchup off versus Echo, being played by Rixalis. So classic Vortex lineup tonight with Loker in the jungle, Kurama as well in the mid lane, iGlory in the AD carry position. We have Steve the Crusader, who is a substitute for them, going to be taking over the support duties tonight. And I'm not sure if this is his first series with Vortex, but it's one of his first. I think he might have played last series when they went down to the Buceters in week 8. But it seems like Loker has been pretty MIA from this team for a few... Or excuse me, Loker, not Loker. Loker is actually playing jungle this time. I was thinking of Manwalrus. Manwalrus hasn't been around Vortex for a little bit now. But Loker has taken over the support duties, but he is actually playing jungle this time, and we're going to see Steve the Crusader playing support instead. So that is the changes for tonight for the Vortex lineup. And for Yeehaw 5, we're going to see Kiyoshi, as always, in the top lane, Knight of the Zed in the jungle, Hide on Blake in the mid lane, Socratic in the AD carry position, and 2 Poppy, aka Darth Nahor, as the support. Oh, I gotta change my overlay. 1 second.
To the baseline.
Alright, there we go. We got the overlay fixed now. And we have only to wait for Rexalis to load in here. And if you're just joining us, this is Yeehaw 5 versus Vortex. Game 1 about to kick things off. This is one of 3 series that we're streaming tonight. And if you just missed it, Baby Shark was able to take down the Buceters with a 2-0 victory. So they were able to capture that second spot for the time being. And they'll be patiently watching this series to see how Yeehaw5 do, and if Yeehaw5 are able to win both of these games, they will be able to capture that second place spot and a first round bye. But Vortex stand in their way. They're a formidable opponent, currently the 6th seed, about to head into playoffs, and they want to win this series to deny Yeehaw5 that spot. Okay, so Hollandens is the captain of Vortex, and he says that Steve has been the support.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, I don't have a updated
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeehaw5 like picture. I just have to use GPCs because that was their old name. But I'll probably update it before playoffs start. So I'll have to do that in the next couple days to get Yeehaw5's logo to be correct. But for now, we just use Guardians of the Prophecy Cup for their logo. Which, speaking of which, I still have to download a new copy of Adobe Photoshop. Alrighty. So nothing too strange for the first 2 minutes of the game here. We just saw pretty much 5-point. Hide on Blake getting a nice Q off onto Karama there. Karama taking Aftershock in the mid lane on the Lissandra, which is seem to be preferred nowadays because Aftershock, if you're able to hit the damage onto the opponent, does nearly as much as Electrocute. Nearly as much as Airy as well. And it gives you a bit more tanky stats, which is nice for a champion like Lissandra that likes to be the one to engage the fights. Both junglers did start on their bot side, so they received a bit of a leash from their bot lane. And that's allowed them to start clearing the jungle pretty quickly. None of the Zed actually opting to go red to Raptors to blue buff this time instead of doing the red to Gromp, or excuse me, the red to Krug's route. So he's not going to be helping out in the bot lane anytime soon. Jax, on the other hand, is just full clearing. It looks like he's onto his red buff now. He's pretty healthy as well. Socratic and Darth Nahor in the bot lane, hitting level 3. Looks like Knight of the Zed is pinging to take a Scuttle Crab. But he's going to find out that it's already been taken by Loker. So Loker with a nice path at the moment. He's finished it off his top lane camps now. No really big differences in CS numbers yet. Nice spell shield from 2Poppy. Denying that Alistar the engage. He's actually going to hit that binding onto Steve the Crusader as well, but he's taking him pretty low. So Darth Nahor has to back up there. Rexalis looking for the stun. He's gonna look for the proc from Echo, not gonna find it. Jax seems to know that there's a ward down here, but he's gonna look for a gank anyway, maybe? Nope. It looked to me like Yeehaw5 spotted him on the ward, but not quite sure. Now they'll know for sure that he's down here. You hit that Scryer's Orb. And it's a pretty tough gank to complete because Morgana does have a lot of tools to get Draven out of harm's way. Kyoshi trying to hold this wave a little bit. Try to get that last minion, but wasn't able to. Ooh, Charm gonna land on Karama. He doesn't have cleanse. He does have cleanse, but he wasn't able to use it in time. He's gonna go down to hide on Blake. So that's gonna be the opening story for the time being. First blood going over to the Ahri now. Karama having to reset here off of his death. He is able to pick up a Hextech Gunblade though. Should give him a lot of burst damage. Secretic popping that stand aside onto Steve the Crusader, taking him down to about 300 health. iGlory and Steve do have the minion advantage though, and all they wanted to do was push that in, so they managed to do that. And they'll get a nice recall off. 48 CS for Lucian, that's about 1,500 gold for him. We can see the gold deficits here. I think that'll allow him to buy his Bilgewater Cutlass if he does decide to opt into that route. Small gold lead for Kyoshi in the top lane. Pretty much even elsewhere. Ahri has been able to accumulate a lead for the mid lane. And other than that, it's pretty even. And we see that Lucian was able to pick up that Bilgewater Cutlass and 1 health pot. I think it costs about 1,500 gold. So we had just enough there. Ooh, Rexalis triggers that electrocute. So pretty good trade from him. He's gonna want to look for these additional trades. Hopping forward here, gets the shield. Kyoshi does have that stun though. Rexalis has his ult available. Is he gonna have to use it? Yes, he has to pop it, but Macha's put him in a really tough position here. Rexalis is kind of the wrong way, and that's gonna be Kyoshi with a nice solo kill. A little bit too much aggression from Rexalis there, and Kyoshi stood his ground, was able to get a nice pickup there. I'm going to land onto Karama, that's going to be him going down. Yeehaw5 in a very advantageous position, but iGlory actually going to be... Oh, flash in from Loker, forcing Secretic to heal. So bot lane is going in the favor currently of Vortex. That's their really only power spot, and Loker's going to try to help knock down a turret here. Meanwhile, Knight of the Zed on the Xin Zhao is trying to help Ahri knock down mid lane turret. So it is a bit of a race here. We're going to see Echo actually covering here. He's going to look for maybe to clear out the minions here. Knight of the Zed going a little bit deep here. He's going to get turret aggro. And I think Vortex actually going to get this first blood turret. So they are able to grab that gold lead. But their solo laners are in kind of rough positions now. If they can get out of this laning phase as quickly as possible, I think it should suit them. Because Yeehaw5 has pretty commanding leads in their solo lanes at the moment, and they don't really have a composition that team fights very well. So if we do start seeing 3-on-3 skirmishes, or if Vortex is able to even force 4v4s or 5v5s early on, they should be able to have a little bit of advantage there. Xin Zhao is quite strong though at this moment relative to Jax. So we'll see what happens next. But they have managed to get this lane swap underway. Igor in the top lane now. Alistar getting some nice vision around Rift Herald. It seems like they prefer the vision on the top side now. This is a pretty annoying Victor at the moment though. Even if they do manage to get an engage on him, should be able to get out fairly easily. Oh, maybe I'm wrong though. Flash forward from iGlory. But Kyoshi with those Qs gets a lot of shielding, gets a lot of move speed. Looks like he's opted to stay here. This is not a good idea. He does have the support of Socratic and Knight of the Zed though. So he does manage to stay there. Save his turret with the help of his teammates. Hide on Blake really far ahead here. He's taking Kurama extremely low. Kurama's going to have to pop that ultimate. He has Ignite running though. And Kurama's going to have to try to juke out there. He needed to utilize that cleanse a little bit earlier to save himself from the Ignite, but he wasn't quite able to do that in time. iGlory gets rooted up here. Socratic pops the ultimate. So we're going to see a 1-for-1 in the mid lane thanks to the Echo roaming down. And this is still been a problem. Kurama is still having that deficit in the mid lane. It's definitely shown to be a very difficult champion to play in the laning phase. You have to have a lot of patience, I think, for this Lissandra to actually work. It's true. Oh, we're actually going to see an engage here. 2Poppy had the spell shield on, but he elects to flash anyway. So Loker forcing out a flash there. He's certainly playing on the side of the map that he thinks he can help the most, which is the bot lane. Duo here. And he's shown that he can really pressure them, so it's been good payoff for him. This Ahri, it does not have the Glacial Augment keystone, so she's going to be building a bit more standardly. She's not going to build that heavy slow build, which I think I would have actually liked to see in this game because it would allow her to add a little bit more utility for her team, which they seem to lack. Set up some Morgana bindings, but he's elected to build a bit more standardly. Going to take the Electrocute and the Luden's Echo. Exhaust Jr. does get that stun on Kyoshi, but Kyoshi is fairly healthy and he has the support of Knight of the Zed here. Exhaust taking really low. Kyoshi's going to finish him off with a nice Victor Q there. And meanwhile, we see Vortex starting up that Rift Herald because they have the numbers advantage on the top side and they know that they can take that buff. Mid lane taking really low, actually. That tower should fall in the next few auto attacks here. From Hide on Blake. Oh, but Kurama wants to deny him this. Oh, Kurama accidentally self-ults, and that's going to allow Hide on Blake to get away. Would have liked to seen him ult onto the Ahri there. We're actually going to see a fight break out. See if the Crusader going to take down Darth Nahor, and that's going to be Jax falling there. Sorry that I missed that action. I had the camera on the wrong spot, which sometimes happens when you accidentally hold down a key. But anyway, Vortex with a couple of picks there. Gonna keep themselves in this game. The gold deficit shrinking now to about nothing. Both teams very even this contest.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Boker does pop that Rift Herald just for finishing off that outer turret in the top lane. Is going to eventually be felled by Yeehaw 5. Vortex is still holding on to a pretty sizable amount of vision in the top side here. They can see 4 members rotating up to the top side very clearly because Darth Nehor wasn't able to clear out those wards. And so they're pretty wise to how many people are up here. There's actually 5 members now, as we can see. This allows Kurama to push down mid lane, as we can see. And they actually see Zinja rotating back down again, so she's going to respect that. Back up. But good rotation from Yeehaw5. They are able to knock that turret down without much recompense from Vortex. You'll see the Crusader taking really low, this fight popping out. Kurama ulting Socratic, who actually had Black Spirit on, so he's just going to be able to kite that away. Igor taking extremely low, going to be finished off by Kyoshi. And this looks like a fight in the favor of Yeehaw5. They only lose 1 member, and they take down 3. Off the back of that vision skirmish, essentially.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Oh, see the Crusader looking for an engage onto Knight of the Zed. They're going to find it. He has a black shield, but will be enough. Ooh, Kurama tried to engage on the hide on Blake here, or maybe he got caught out by her. Igor looking for that kill. Oh, but Rick Solace on the side. Just barely able to Hextech Proto Belt in there. Kurama actually looking for an engage still. Threatening with a claw. But this Kyoshi's going to actually take down the Jax. Exalis has to ult away. Igor getting caught out maybe a little bit by Kyoshi, who's slowing him down. Ooh, Kyoshi with the double kill. And Socratic is going to barely finish off. He's going to get a double kill too. That's going to be 3 kills for him. Triple kill. They are able to ace the Vortex squad. And yeah, it looked all good for them. They had a clean pick, but they just kept wanting to get more and more out of that one. So it cost them a few extra seconds in the death chamber. And that's an air drake for Yeehaw5. Lots of control words as well for Yeehaw5. They have like at least one in their inventory for each player. So they have a lot of vision denying properties now. Steve the Crusader looking for that Hex Flash. He's going to find it maybe on the Secretic, but he's going to walk away. Not really wanting to hang around with Knight of Z on the side there. This vision battle has really been won now by Yeehaw5, and they're looking for some Baron pressure as well. Oh, Steve the Crusader walking really far forward here. He doesn't know that Yeehaw5's in the bush next to him, and he's going to get picked off. He was looking for a ward over the bush there, and ends up paying his life for it. Really nicely done with the vision from Yeehaw5 here. And Victor's becoming more of a problem for them in the side lane. And this is the sort of situation that Vortex doesn't want to be in, where they're stretched between Baron and bot lane. And Yeehaw5's done a good job of putting them in this position. They don't really want to see any 5v5s. But even then, we're just talking about an Echo that can contribute to the fight. And I think Victor at this moment actually contributes more to a 5v5 than Echo does. So they don't really have any clear-cut advantages on any side of the map at the moment. Even Draven is quite far ahead on compared to the Lucian, I should say. He has completed a couple of items. Steve the Crusader getting a little busy in here, but he's going to be going down. Secretic goes unstoppable with the 5th kill. And he's going to look for an ult here on the iGlory. But his patient play on the Draven this game has really paid off, and he's quite far ahead.
I may be outnumbered, but not even the odds can stand against me.
Binding just gonna miss there, but they do take down the turret. Karama gets charmed up here, not gonna waste any summoner spells. He's gonna go down anyway, so we might as well just keep him. Hide on Blake, flashing forward, gets eye glory. It's a nice orb there. Yeah, Vortex having a bit of a difficulty here staving off this. But we're gonna get an engage. Steve the Crusader looking for a finish off on a Knight of Z. He does have ultimate available, but that's not gonna be enough. Kyoshi teleporting down here to help his team actually. And taking Loker extremely low. And he's gonna finish him off with the ultimate there. Rexalis looking for a stun. Karama not wanting to use that cleanse still. Does manage to finish off Kyoshi, get that shutdown gold, but does fall as well. Hide on Blake, kiting backwards, does have an extra charge of the ultimate left, so he will use it. And that's going to be an inhib for Yeehaw5. Alrighty, so I'm back now. I just want to make a stream announcement to advertise our stream. Rexalis having to pop the ultimate. Oh, and what I missed was actually Vortex stole the Baron. So I'm sorry I missed that one, but that's pretty hype. Vortex was able to steal that Baron away and prolong this game a little bit more. They are in a really bad spot though. This is an 8k gold deficit at the moment. And Hyde on Blake especially, as well as Kiyoshi in the top lane, have pretty sizable leads. Lucian has been able to hold his own a bit, but Draven again, sitting on those 3 items is really, really potent at the moment. This wave clear on the mid lane is kind of lackluster with the Baron buff currently hitting in the mid lane outer, but like I said, huge advantage here for Yeehaw 5. They are up about 8k gold. But the Baron buff that was procured, stolen away by Vortex, will keep them in this game a little bit longer. I don't think that Vortex really want to look for a fight at the moment, but they will definitely welcome the Baron buff to keep them in this game. I think what they want right now is just to be able to continue to farm out and look for an engage if they are able to find an opportune pick. Really, I think Vortex's best chance is just to wait for trying to get a second Baron steal and then using that to fight. But for the moment, they're just trying to stall as much as possible. Top wave is definitely still pushing in favor of Yeehaw 5. Oh, Rexalis looking for an engage here. He's going to pop the Zanya's Hourglass. Knight of the Zed taken pretty low. He does have the ultimate going though. Kurama gets that self-ult off. He's going to take down one as well. Secretic able to pick off Echo in the side wings there. He's still alive. Free hitting. That means that everyone's going to be taking that much more damage. Kiyoshi finishes off Kurama, and that means a 4 for 2 in the favor of Yeehaw 5. And Kiyoshi's going to teleport in the base here. He's looking for the Nexus turrets. Steve the Crusader was unable to keep his charges alive, and he's the only one remaining for Vortex here to try to save the day. But he's going to get stunned up by Kiyoshi and finished off by Secretic. So good team effort here. Actually, really pretty decisive victory by Yeehaw 5. And if they're able to win the next game, that will give them the ability to go 2-0, and that will put them in the second place seed for playoffs. And that's a nice seed to have because it is the seed that gives the first round bye. So we'll see if they could do that in game 2. Take a look at the graphs here. We got Kiyoshi actually topping out the damage charts this game. He had a lot of skirmishes that he took with Rexalis in the top lane, and they largely went in favor of him, so it makes sense why he was able to output so much damage, because he was virtually fighting champions every stages of the game. And of course Secretic doing a lot of work on the Draven. And Hyde on Blake definitely got a huge lead in the early game as well, so he did a lot of damage as well. And we'll see if Vortex are able to surmount a bit of a better defense set for the next game.
Oh my baby, got me staring at you. So I'm crazy. Watch you bend that back for me. We won't stop. Got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking, but you, I know it, you know it, we make it. So I'm crazy. Oh my baby, got me staring at you. So I'm crazy. Watch you bend that back for me. We won't stop. Got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking, but you, I know it, you know it, we make it.
So fast, all tied up like a captive. I'm on to you. Used to pay to my mind life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I know my patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Making me stronger, making me stronger.
So we're about to get underway here with game 2 of Vortex versus Yeehaw 5. We saw a pretty overwhelming performance here by Yeehaw 5 on the blue side in game 1. They were able to take advantage of their heavy solo lane leads and steadily knock down turrets. They had the Baron stolen away from them by Vortex, but by then Yeehaw 5 had amounted such a lead that they weren't really able to be held back by Vortex enough to allow Vortex back into the game. So what I need to look forward to here in this game is Vortex needs to show me that their solo laners are able to play a bit more safe and really make it to the mid game intact. And this time Vortex has opted to take blue side because they have side selection, and I think they saw what Yeehaw 5 did last game to them, and maybe they'll try to emulate something about that. Or at the very least, they'll be able to first pick away some of the champions that Yeehaw 5 are comfortable on. Maybe force out a Victor ban from Yeehaw 5 if they're afraid that Vortex will play it. But we're going to see Knight of the Zeds, Graves being taken away, and actually a Gragas ban as well, which I think that Knight of the Zed doesn't really like to play himself, so he'd rather just take it away from Loker. And actually a Victor ban coming out as well, so we're not going to be able to see a first pick Victor this time around, which is what we saw last game. This opens up Talia though, and it might be a first pick Talia from Vortex, so we'll see if Yeehaw 5 decide to ban away that champion. It is also a champion that Knight of Zed really likes to play, so maybe they're hoping that Vortex doesn't pick it here, but I think Talia would be a very nice pickup for this first selection of Vortex, and instead they want the Urgot. So Rexalis is going to pick up that Urgot, ensure himself a champion that can do well in his top lane, and under no pressure really to pick anything, Yeehaw 5 kind of default to a Scion here, and that Talia does end up getting picked up. The Morgana ban was also a new ban that they took away from 2Poppy. They didn't want him to have it. Those black shields they deemed were too important, too impactful. But I'm going to be completely honest, and I think I'll say that neglecting to pick the first pick the Talia, I think, is a little bit of a mistake. I think that in these last couple of patches in Prophecy Cup, we've seen that the Urgot is something that is very it's something that can be handled by a concentrated team effort to CC the Urgot, but Talia is a bit of a different story because she just has so much power in the early game and so much damage potential that it's something that is much more difficult to handle than an Urgot. So I definitely would have liked to seen Vortex pick up the Talia first, but we're going to get this sort of iteration of the draft instead. And the strength that it has for Vortex is that it does allow Rexalis to eventually reach that late game status on Urgot if they are able to be patient enough for that, in which it does a lot of damage and it puts a lot of pressure on the side lane, especially against a Scion whose only escape tool really is going to be that ultimate that he has. Swain and Draven being taken away now. I think Swain's a great ban at the moment, and Yeehaw 5 definitely don't want to see Karama take it out. especially since Hide on Blake seems to have shown that he doesn't want to play this lane. He prefers picking up an Ahri here. Tahm Kench can be taken away as well. Lissandra off the table, despite the fact that Blake was able to punish the Lissandra pretty hard in lane last game. And Socratic, not being able to pick Draven here, is going to decide to opt into a Sivir pick versus the Lucian, which is by no means an easy matchup for the Sivir, but she is able to at least spell shield some of those abilities that Lucian uses, and that Thresh will be using as well with the Flay and the hook. The support pick still actually being left open for Yeehaw5 until the very last pick, which is a little bit auspicious. They've essentially picked an order this time: top, jungle, mid AD carry, support. Vortex actually going to take that Malzahar, so they're going to put Kurama on a champion that has even less playmaking ability in the early game, so a little bit more perhaps safety for the Malzahar. You don't expect him to get solo killed as early as he was on the Lissandra, but it does have that ability to press all the buttons, lock down a target, get picks in the mid game. So definitely a team fighting champion that they'll try to utilize. Does lack a considerable amount of mobility though, but with the Thresh Lantern that shouldn't be a problem in those team fights. I really like the comp that Vortex has ended up with here. They have a Trundle jungle as well. That should be able to press R onto the Scion, and really just a front to back comp from them. But they will struggle, I believe, against this Talia's early game pressure. So they have to play this patiently. And Yeehaw5 obviously presenting a composition that wants to look for skirmishes early on. The Scion should be able to punish the Urgot fairly well in the early game. And the Trundle's going to have a difficult time tracking this Talia down. So it is a pretty good early game from Yeehaw5 this time around. Similar to last game. And yeah, if you're just joining us, what's on the line is a potential first round bye for Yeehaw5. Vortex doesn't really have much to play for, besides their own pride. If they are able to win this game, they should spoil a chance for Yeehaw5 to make that second seed, so they can at least play spoiler in this series. But for the time being, Vortex's main concern is consolidating their strategy for the playoffs. They will face the number 3 seed, which is likely to be either Yeehaw5 or Baby Shark. So something to consider for them is that if they do end up winning this game, they will essentially choose their opponent, and it should likely be Yeehaw5. There is one other scenario though, is that if Vortex does manage to win this series 2-1, then they will allow the winner of the they will play the winner of Bad Boys versus Sentinels, which is going on the other stream right now, because that team will likely grab the 3rd seed. So Vortex will potentially give themselves a better opponent in the first round of the playoffs if they win this series. They won't be moving up in the standings at all, but they will be denying other teams that 3rd seed and allowing what could be a worse team to get up into that 3rd seed to play themselves. So it does have some implications, just not exactly on Vortex's seed itself. And of course, this is the last two. This is one of the last 2 games of the regular season. So after this game ends, the final seeding of the playoffs should be locked in, and we'll know exactly where everyone falls. So, taking a look at the keystones here, we see that Urgot's taking the spell book, which is pretty standard. Press the attack for Trundle this time around. Arion Malzahar. And press the attack in the bot lane as well for iGlory. Pretty standard stuff all around. Fleet footwork for Secretic. And I don't really see anything else that's out of the ordinary. Commencing stopwatch being taken by Braum too. That might come into play when we hit 10 minutes. We're seeing Yeehaw5 stacking in the bot lane here, looking for a bit of an invade.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
They've taken a strange route though. Usually you take the...
I'm not afraid of you.
Usually you walk down here and you come into this bush. But they've decided to change course a little bit. And I don't know really what they're doing. It's kind of just a scattered brain moment. It doesn't look like they were spotted out. iGlory might have spotted a couple of them, but Vortex don't really take the opportunity to ward the top side of the map when they could have.
You can't take it with you, so give it to me.
Yeehaw5 weren't really able to spot anyone out besides Lucian, so they don't really know where Trundle's starting. But they will, however, see Lucian and Thresh in the bot lane pretty early on, so they might be able to assume that Trundle has started his blue buff. Urgot also going to show on a ward here, walking away from blue buff, so they should, both teams should know where the enemy jungler started, if they're able to deduce. An early push from iGlory and Steve in the bot lane here. It's going to allow them to hit level 2 perhaps quicker. Take a look at the mid lane here. This Karama just tries to shove that out. And iGlory and Steve do hit level 2, but it's matched simultaneously by level 2. By Secretic and Darth Nahor. Trundle trying to take this Scuttle Crab, but he's gonna get bullied out there by Knight of the Zed. Knight of the Zed doing a... Ooh, Loker getting that smite away. He can maybe fight Knight of the Zed there, but he doesn't have the support of his mid laner. Loker popping the Trundle pillar. He's going to have to flash away from his own base and look for the execute, I think. Rexall's taking a heavy trade against Kyoshi. He actually does so much damage. Holy cow. Loker going to try to execute here. Maybe he can get away. No. So he's going to lose his double buffs, I believe. But at least he's not going to donate any kill gold. Nice hook from Steve, but it's just going to land onto 2 Poppy and not going to mean anything. They did have a level advantage there. They could have tried to do some more there. They opted not to. Ooh. Flay just barely gonna miss there. Another hook onto Darth Nahor. Ignite actually gets popped. They do have heal available though. So credit gets flayed in. Krama being taken pretty low on mana. Wow, he was able to get a lot of damage off onto Ahri there with the Voidlings though. But Ahri is winning the mana battle, so if Ahri is able to stay in the mid lane, she should be able to push out the waves a bit better. Rexall's doing a nice job of poking down Kyoshi here in the top side. Oh, Iglor canceling a couple of auto attacks there, but it's gonna cost him a few extra damage. Ooh, Steve the Crusader flashing here, looking for the flays. Credit gets a nice spell shield out, but it's going to be first blood for Iglory. Nice place out there by Steve and Loker. Getting their 80 carry ahead here. Really well done by them. Steve calculating the fact that he could flay and then hook after Sivir uses the spell shield. I believe Socratic did have flash available that time though, so maybe a little bit of a mistake by him. But that was a really... it would have required really quick reactions from him for sure. Malzahar and Ahri both got a recall off. And Malzahar actually decided to complete his Merc Treads. So he should have the superior combat summoners for the time being, or combat combat stats for the time being in the mid lane. And blue buff is going to be spawning for Vortex in the next 30 seconds, so Malzahar should be able to acquire that from Trundle. That'll help him a lot with the wave clear and the mana. We do get an early Ocean Drake from Yeehaw 5 though. And actually Trundle takes that blue buff, which I don't like to see. But Kurama looks like he's able to keep his mana bar pretty high anyway, so shouldn't matter too much. Rexall's looking for this fight against Kyoshi, but Kyoshi's pretty tanky at the moment. Loker actually here with a Trundle Pillar. Can Rexall's finish him off with a nice ultimate, or is Macho going to be able to walk well out? Yes, he is. Ooh, Talia actually showing up in the bot lane here. He's going to look for Steve the Crusader, who doesn't have flash available. And can they finish off 2 Poppy? Not quite. But Steve does go down. Talia with a nice Weaver's Wall that time. Kyoshi walking very far forward here, trying to get some additional damage onto Rexallus. Loker is spotted out here. Does get stunned up. They don't know that Talia's here. He's going to get the seismic shove onto two members of Vortex and force Kurama to flash away there. Kiyoshi, the only item he has is Sheen at the moment, but it's been a pretty effective first buy for him. And I'd assume that he eventually does want to build into that Glacial Shroud and pick up an Iceborne Gauntlet. Oh, engage from Hide on Blake here. He's going to have to try to get over beyond this. Oh, Kurama with the nice jukes, but Hide on Blake has too much damage for him. Steve the Crusader coming in a little bit too late, though. Ooh, gank in from the mid lane. Loker going to be finishing off Hide on Blake here. He does manage to charm up Loker, but not going to be able to get away with his life. At least Blake can happily give that kill over to Steve instead of Loker. Ping targeting the top lane turret now, and that's going to be Kiyoshi trying to knock down the outer turret up there. Given that Rexalis has to walk all the way back up to mid lane now, or top lane now. So a bit of a wasted teleport from him. It's going to put him a little bit further behind in top as well. He's missing out on a few waves here. Great vision control from Vortex this time around. They have pretty good vision of bot side river. Darth and Horror having to pop that stopwatch a little bit early there. He's going to have to flash out. Socratic also used his flash there. So, jungle presence from Loker that time pays off in the bot lane for Vortex.
Rebel Rouser. That could be a cool nickname.
Weaver's Wall is available here, and it looks like Night of Zed is actually going to come in here, force Rexalis' flash away. Seismic Shove just barely misses. Rexalis was able to kind of jump over that one. Kiyoshi with that Glacial Shroud now is just all that more tanky and has that Sheen available. It looks like they want to fight though, and Loker's here just in time. He's going to be trying to knock the, or block this ultimate. They get the ult down onto Kiyoshi, and that's going to be Rexalis finishing him off. So a bit of an overstep by Kiyoshi this time around, and Loker does punish that in the top lane. That should allow Rexalis to finish off his Black Cleaver here, but not before Night of Zed gets up there and takes down Loker. So Talia was able to sneak up there, get a bit of a return kill for that effort. Pink's going down with blue buff here, but Talia's already on it. We might see a fight breaking out now. But Night of Zed is able to finish it off just in time. We do see Infernal Drake just spawn now, so emphasis might be on the bot lane now. Cromwell gonna actually look for a suppression on Talia here, and he has Rexalis in the wings there, and that's gonna be a dead jungler now. Yeehaw5 might have to surrender this dragon if Vortex is able to get over there in time, but Vortex looking for a fight already in the bot side. I don't really know how I feel about this. Loker's not here yet. Trundle is still completing his Krugs. They're fighting in the bot lane already. Very strange movements from both sides, actually. Both really wanting to fight when not really opportune time to. Vortex wasn't patient enough to wait for their jungler to get down there to help out, and Yeehaw5 felt safe enough even without their jungler to do a little bit of a skirmish there. Loker's taking this down to about 2,000 health. Can Steve and iGlory help him out? Yes, they can. Steve the Crusader has to flash away, but Hyden Blake is just there in time. He's going to clip him on the way out. He's going to finish him off. Hyden Blake was taken down there by the Ignite from Steve the Crusader. Help out from Loker, who also fell there, but they do manage to get the Infernal Drake. So, pretty worthwhile effort from Vortex. Kurama in the mid lane, bringing that mid lane turret pretty low. Oh, Rexalis actually died as well in the top side. I'm not sure why that happened, but... I don't think that should be happening. This is a first pick Urgot that we're seeing just die solo in the top lane. So, definitely not justifying that first pick.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Ping into the bot lane here. It looks like they want to set up a death brush. See if anyone face checks. Talia is already in the correct position to help out in the bot lane fight. But iGlory doesn't want any part of it. He's just going to recall. Finish that Blade of the Rune King. So a bit of an item advantage in bot lane now for them. But Sivir's going to be able to take this turret and
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
reset. So that item advantage maybe not going to pay off anytime soon. Kyoshi has a pretty sizable tempo advantage in top lane too. He has managed to push that out. So we're seeing a situation where both side lanes have tempo advantage for Yeehaw5, but mid lane it's a bit of a different story. We're actually going to see Steve the Crusader forcing out a flash from Hyden Blake, and this is going to be Loker taking out mid lane turret. Sion coming in from the left side though. Going to knock up Loker and with the final axe chop take him down. Loker did waste his flash as well that time around. And really, Yeehaw5 is incentivized to go nowhere else except mid lane and try to knock this turret down. They have every other outer turret taken. And this is a fight that Vortex doesn't want to give them, but they're going to give them it anyway. And Steve the Crusader falls. Talia looking for a bit of a flank on the side here. Will she get the seismic shove? She has decent amount of vision. Kurama playing on the left side of the lane does not realize that Talia is there. iGlory not able to really hit anything with the culling. And he's going to get taken really low. Sivir not quite able to finish him. Kurama does trade his life for a kill on the Blake. They're not able to rescue this tower, but a 1-for-1 is pretty good for Vortex in this situation. They are a scaling comp. They should have a pretty good mid game here that they've set themselves up for. It's just that they are super behind in tempo, and they currently are down about 4k gold. And one of the best ways to stay ahead if you are ahead is just to take down the Rift Herald. So we'll see if Yeehaw5 take that Rift Herald anytime soon. Knight of the Zed looks dead though, and this could allow Vortex to take it instead. And a Rift Herald isn't necessarily what Vortex want at the moment, but denying it away from Yeehaw5 is going to be really, really strong, I think. Oh boy, they also got Kyoshi's flash. So this front to back comp that will be able to melt down Kyoshi pretty well. Just got an extra summoner spell out of him. Yeehaw5 actually are wise to this Rift Herald event, but Vortex want to fight. They have the advantage here. Oh my gosh, Rexalis getting a huge fear there onto two members of Yeehaw5. Karama's going to get taken down by Hyde on Blake, who is coming in from the backside. But this is going fairly well actually now for Yeehaw5. iGlory is in here in time though. So Vortex gets the better of that fight. Oh, maybe not so much now. Now Zed adding his damage. A bit of a baby flash from him, taking Rexalis really low, but he manages to stay alive. iGlory popping the culling onto Night of the Zed. Can he get the final auto attacks? Yes, he can. That's going to be an ace for Vortex. And that was a nice back and forth fight there. Really well contested by both sides. But in the end, Vortex able to contribute more damage to the fight. Not able to finish off the Rift Herald that time, but it will allow iGlory to back on quite a considerable amount of gold. He's going to finish off that BF sword, maybe building into a possible early GA or even into a Essence Reaver. Actually, I think the build probably is Storm Razors, but we'll see what he decides to do with that. Yeah, Vortex definitely fighting back here. A win here would deny Yeehaw5 that first round bye, so definitely would be a spoiler sort of play from them. And again, if Vortex is able to take this series, they should be able to get a slightly better opponent in the first round. You definitely don't want to face that Baby Shark team in the first round, I don't think. Oh, wow. A lot of control wars being popped here. This is an Infernal Drake fight, and they got Kyoshi without a flash here. Front to back hop, trying to figure out how to kill this front line. Rexalis being taken really low. That's going to be him falling down to Secretic, though. So even though they are able to hook in Kyoshi there, it is Vortex losing out on this fight. Hyde on Blake going to take down Karama as well. So maybe Vortex taking a fight there that was a little bit too early to take. Hyde on Blake still has a considerable lead in the mid lane in terms of damage. He's a little bit behind in terms of items because he did have to build that Quicksilver Sash. But Talia doing a lot of damage as well, more than I think Urgot can do in these fights. iGlory having to pop that culling again, but pretty much negated by Darth Nehor's big shield there. There's already a ping down onto Baron by Yeehaw5. And it seems like they really want to accelerate this game. This is one of their most potent parts of the game, for sure, with the Talia damage. And they don't want to allow this Urgot to continue to farm up. Because if Urgot gets pretty big, then things could fall apart for Yeehaw5. However, iGlory is spending a lot of time in bot lane here, and if Yeehaw5 do decide to start this Baron up, he'll be hard pressed to get there in time. Weaver's Wall actually being dropped down into Loker, and that's going to be an early flash out from him. I don't know why this channeled teleport is coming out. A bit of an early trigger from them, but definitely lackluster decision making from Vortex, forced out because of the lack of vision. And Rexalis is going to be without his teleport now. iGlory taking pretty low. This is a jungle-less Vortex team now, so Yeehaw5 are going to look up to start this Baron. Vortex has to be very careful here because Sion still does have that ultimate to re-engage if he wants to, and he's going to look for it. Going to hit up to on the iGlory. iGlory's going to have to flash away here. Steve the Crusader trying to get in there, save his top laner, but not going to be able to. This is really well executed by Yeehaw5, just the Baron dance. Loker actually respawning now, trying to get in here maybe for a steal. It's going to be close though. Ooh, Flash Charm just barely missing. Flashed away by iGlory. Or, flash away by iGlory. Or, I think he just eat away actually. Oh, Loker's here in time though, and he's just going to die immediately. That's not going to be a suitable steal attempt. Silence does land on the three members of Yeehaw5, but Malzahar not able to get in there in time. So that's going to be Baron for Yeehaw5. So slight hiccups for Yeehaw 5 this game, but they are back in control with that Baron buff. All set up by Knight of the Zed's pick onto Loker for the most part, and some nice vision control in the top side of the jungle. The only member of Yeehaw 5, though, having completed the Quicksilver Sash, is the Ahri in the mid lane. So if Kurama is able to get a good ultimate target, maybe onto the Talia, who oversteps, then maybe Vortex can live to fight another day here. Try I'm going to land with a Loker, but he does have the Lantern available. He is about half health now.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Stand back. Woo!
Socratic popping the ultimate, forcing Kurama to flash away. Loker's caught out a bit here. Steve the Crusader does manage to hook in Knight of the Zed, but he has the Zanya's Hourglass available to him. He's going to finish off Steve there. Rexall's... Oh, how did that happen? Hyden Blake actually popping the Quicksilver Sash to save himself from the execute damage of Urgot. So, definitely the worst target to bring in there, because Hyden Blake was able to pop that QSS and save his life. And I think this is just about game. Loker's going to respawn in about 12 seconds, but this Yeehaw 5 team has a lot of damage, and they still have Baron buff, so they should be able to take down these inhibitors, or this Nexus turret here. They've got one now. They're looking for this 2-0 victory. If they are able to do it, it means they get that second seed and the first round bye. And it looks like Vortex is falling here. They still have 3 members in the death chamber, and that's going to be game 2-0 for Yeehaw 5 here tonight. GG's, everyone. So Yeehaw 5 capturing that 2-0 victory is going to allow themselves to claim that first round bye. They're going to have that second seed going into playoffs. It's going to allow them to avoid the first round of the playoffs, which is everything they could have wanted. And Vortex is not going to have much of a save in who they face. It's likely to be Baby Shark at this moment. And that's definitely not something that you wanted if you're Vortex, because Baby Shark is looking like a very strong team at the moment. And they seem to have everything clicking for them. So going to be a tough matchup for that first round for Vortex. But yeah, I'm definitely excited. We're going to see playoffs starting tomorrow. Teams can schedule their games as early as tomorrow. I don't really expect that to happen, but you never know. And should be finalizing the standings as soon as Bad Boys and Sentinels finish up. But for the time being, we can bring in one of the members here, or a few of the members of Yeehaw 5, and hear what they have to say.
Round and round we go, losing self-control. I keep telling myself, but I don't wanna let you know. Is this what we become? Strangers on the run, looking for something, chasing the sun. All those days, trying to find a place, a place where you only can just be alone, be alone. All those nights lying by your side, like a surprise, feeling it shine under your spotlight. That's the way every day goes. Looking back, I know we started falling. We were falling in love, yeah. Took my heart and you rode off. Was a feeling never enough for you, baby? When you left me chasing you, chasing you. Trying to find a place where we can be alone. All those nights lying by your side, like it's a vibe, feeling it shine under your spotlight.
Yo,
Yo, what's up? So, I just pulled Darth Nahor and Secretic bot lane for Yeehaw5 in here with me to get an interview. How are you guys doing?
I'm feeling fucking amazing, bro. How you feeling?
Nice, man. Yeah, so with that victory, you guys cement your spot as the second best team in the regular season for Season 6. How does it feel?
It feels like shit, bro. I feel like we're not a second place team. I think we're first place. I don't know. Nair, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this team was asked before I got here, so we're a lot better now. So.
Right on, right on. Yeah, and yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about how you guys have kind of changed since you've added Darth Nahor to the roster. What sort of spawned or what sort of spurred the move to Yeehaw 5 as well?
Yeah, I'll mention it. We had a first support. What was his name? I forgot.
Puff.
Garbage. It was unlucky, but it had to be said. We brought in Sharkbait. He wasn't cutting it, and we finally brought in the fucking garbage, fucking Nahor. And then from there on out, we just been stopping every lane. Like, I don't know if you saw this game. Like, we just stomped hardcore their ball lane.
Yeah, no, I definitely saw it. You guys had a really nice performance, but also a really good performance, I think, from Hyde on Blake in the mid lane.
Oh yeah, solo kills for days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Basically, what happened, balling, we were winning pretty hard, and they asked for ganks, and then I don't know. I guess you're not good. Fucking D4 players that they have on their team. They're just unlucky at the end of it.
All right, right on. So, what team do you guys think you want to see for your semifinal matchup if you got a selection of them?
Probably Vortex again.
Yeah, pretty much. Free win. Have you seen them?
It's pretty funny.
It's funny because they think they're like the hot shit of the league, but I don't know. It just feels nice to put them down like dogs.
It's just funny because I mean we've been battling them since what, season 3 or season 2, and Rick Salas is currently D3, but losing to a Plat 5 top laner.
Yeah.
Damn.
Pretty big yikes, dude.
Well, so like maybe a more interesting question is there any team that you don't want to see for your first game?
I don't think there's any team in particular. If any team, let's see. Let me look at who the fuck.
Nah, I'm gonna say right now, if I'm scared, like I'm just gonna fucking end it all, dude. There's no team, no scared of. I'm like 100% confident that I'm gonna win this tournament. So, nah, I'm looking forward to getting my free RP.
Yeah, but just for the sake of the question, I think Baby Shark is better than the rest of the teams, but also Bad Boys. You know, if Charlie pops off, you know, you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and
those
that's
are
pretty much it.
Those seem like
The rest of good.
Oh, they seem like the big threats right now, I think, in the sort of middle of the pack teams for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone else is just a mega lol.
Alrighty, well, I think that's all the questions I really have for you guys at the moment. Do you guys have anything you want to say to end the stream?
No, nothing much, bro. I'm just that good. Like
I just want to say, I think I was looking at the stats. I think Rick Salas had, because Rick Salas was named the best top laner in the league last season. I think currently he has like 45 kills to like 100 deaths. I'm not good at math, so I don't know the KDA off that. But Kiyoshi was named third best top laner last year, and at the moment I think he has like 90 kills to like deaths. So just throwing that out there, guys.
Yeah, definitely something to keep track of, maybe for the MVP votes or the positional votes this season. Kiyoshi, I think, one of the most improved players over the last season for sure.
Mm-hmm. Going from tank player to Victor carry.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, I'm good.
Alrighty, well, it's been a long night for me. I did a couple of series, so I'm gonna call it for now. So
Yeah.
good luck in the
Appreciate it.
playoffs, guys.
Hey, thanks. Proud of all your hard work for P Cup, man.
Thanks, man. It's been an interesting end of season for sure.
Yeah, it has. I do think it's closer, 16 closer than past seasons.
Yeah, no, it's been nice because there's been a lot of competitive games and whatnot. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well.
I'll catch you later then, Jacob.
Yeah, totally, man. See you next time.
Hey, if you want to play fucking PUBG, let me know, man.
PUBG? All right. I haven't played in a long time, so I'm pretty rusty, but.
Yeah, I just started getting back into it.
Nice.
All right, my dude.
Alrighty, good night.
See ya, good night.
Take me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you. And the blackened eyes make my way into your mind. Just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Let the darkness take control. Let the darkness take control. Darkness take control. May the darkness take control. Take me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start